Hey, this is John Cena, and you are watching this WWE Fan 13.
Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to today's video. I am finally back. I'm sorry I keep disappearing, you know, same old stuff, school, ear problems. I'm getting surgery probably soon, hopefully. But I am back and I have a bunch of pre-recorded videos, so hopefully if I do end up getting surgery, I will still have videos to put out for you guys. But anyways, today's video, it was requested by Saki, the sock puppet. You know, a while ago they asked me to make a video on how to meet wrestlers and tips for meeting wrestlers, and you know, I have come together with some other YouTubers to do this video, and so I'm hoping you guys will enjoy, and make sure you take the advice here because I'm gonna be telling you guys some important stuff that not only to respect the wrestlers but to keep yourself safe at the same time. So with that being said, let's get started. If you guys want to meet wrestlers at events, I do have a few tips for you. Now, there are a few things you could possibly do to meet them at an actual event. Like if they're coming to your hometown, say they're coming to El Paso and you want to go meet them, but you don't know how. There are a few options. Now, number one, you can buy it used to be called the VIP package. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called the Superstar Experience now. I have done it many times. You guys go back, check out my videos. It's the VIP experience. I've done it, I think, 2 or 3 times. I've met Becky, I met Dean, I met Shinsuke, Rusev. I met so many people. It is a little pricey. It is about $500 each ticket, but that is a guaranteed way for you to meet them. What this VIP, or now Superstar Experience, comes with, you get front row seats to the show, you get to take home a commemorative chair, you get crowd-free shopping before you, or as your experience first starts. Basically, you're going to meet up with one of the 2 coordinators. I always usually have Billy, because he's usually the one that does my events in El Paso. You meet up with him and then he takes you guys inside, and then you guys get to shop at the stand with no like crowds. You get basically first dibs on any stuff they're gonna have. And then after that, usually depending on how they have it set up for that time, they'll take you down to the ring and you actually get to like touch the ring, you know, hang out. You can't go in it, obviously. I wish, trust me, I've asked, but you can only touch it, you know. But Billy or whoever the other coordinators are will take a picture of you with the ring, with his camera, and they'll have the lights and stuff, and you get to basically just hang out around the ring for a while. And then after that's over, they take you up to some room, wherever yours would be in your arena. Ours is kind of like next, well, our arena has this one separate room next to the entrance. And it's like a big room, I'm assuming, for maybe the teams or the celebrities to put their stuff in when they're waiting to perform there. But with us, they usually have the chairs lined up, and then you go in there and you take a seat. Billy will then pass out these bags that has a book, like an 8x10 photo. Sometimes you'll get like other little like goodies, like a hat or whatever, that says, all of it says like, in the past it would say VIP experience. And then you don't know who you're meeting though. Keep that in mind. You do not know who you're meeting. You can kind of have an idea when you look at who's coming, and like kind of check the Instagram page and see who usually does the experiences, but basically it's just based off who has the time to do it. But yeah, so you'll either, depending on how big your group is, you'll get 2 to 4 wrestlers. I think the most I've gotten was like 5 wrestlers, 4 or 5 that I've gotten to meet in one time, and they'll sign whatever you want, take pictures, you know, do whatever, and you'll basically be in there for like an hour or 2. And then once the show is getting ready to start, Billy will take you guys down to your seats, and you know, you just get ready to watch the show. And of course, sitting front row gives you an extra chance to get more photos, autographs. And I've noticed the wrestlers tend to go to the VIP experience area a lot, like where our group is, and they'll come and take photos and, you know, sign stuff, because I'm assuming maybe they're told that that's the VIP. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I've noticed we always get a lot of extra attention there. And so that's one option. It is an expensive option, but I love doing it every time they come. I haven't been able to do it the past 2 years because I was saving for trips, but I'm hoping I can do it maybe this year, fingers crossed. But yeah, so that's one option. Another option is if you're not doing the VIP experience, and you happen to get front row seats to the show, you know, like I said, you could reach out your arm when they're coming by. Do not be aggressive, be respectful. But if you have your book ready or your phone, whatever you want, whether you want a photo, they do come around the ring, obviously. And another thing that I've done before is I have met Byron Saxton. In between intermission, one time he was walking around and I was like, Byron, can I get a photo? And of course I asked nicely, I waved at him and he came and took a photo and ended up taking photos with everybody else. So that is another option that you can do. If you guys want to know how you can get recognized at the show, I do have a few tips for you guys, because you know there's thousands of people there and I'm sure the wrestlers want to see all of you guys if they could, but you know, obviously they can't because there's just too many people. So if you want to stand out to a wrestler, here are a few tips. You can make a creative and unique sign. Whenever I go to a show and I see that Becky's gonna be there, I usually have a sign that says Becky Lynch section with like some lights, and she's already recognized that that's my sign. So every time I go, I have it, and Becky always comes up and says hello and whatnot. So say if you love, I don't know, Samoa Joe, or if you love Roman, make a creative sign that's gonna catch his attention. So when it's time for him to leave the ring and you know, for the next wrestlers to come out, maybe he'll stop by and take a quick photo or sign a quick autograph. A next one is you can always wear their t-shirt. You know, I know there's gonna be plenty of people wearing their shirts, but I'm sure when a wrestler is leaving and gonna go through the crowd, they look for their fans specifically, and they're gonna want to go to their fan specifically because, you know, you bought the shirt, you love them, and they want to give back to you, if that makes sense. Another thing is you could do like a cosplay, like if you really want to get the attention of somebody. Like I can't remember who it was, but I think I remember a few years ago on Raw, there was a cosplay, like friends doing it, and The Rock literally went up to them on camera and like put them on camera. So that's what I'm saying, like if you really want to try to get the attention of someone, like, and give it your all, I would recommend doing that. Especially if they do see you, they're gonna be impressed and they're gonna come and, you know, give you some extra attention. And then last is obviously, you know, cheering for them or booing them, but don't do it obnoxiously. Don't be rude about it. You're there to have fun and you're there to respect the wrestlers and watch the show they put on for you. So that is another thing you could do. And then also at events, for some of you who actually don't know this, the wrestlers obviously, you know, have to park their cars somewhere. They all come in their own rental cars usually, or they come on their tour buses. And so usually at events, you can see where they're coming in to park, or know where they're coming in to enter the stadium. Especially if it's an arena that you're familiar with, like mine, the Haskins Center, or the stadium in Las Cruces, New Mexico. I'm very familiar with the parking lots there. I haven't really gone to do that in a couple years. But, you know, you can show up there. But my advice is to arrive early. And when I say early, I don't mean an hour early. I mean 5 to 6 hours early. Because wrestlers are getting there from all different times of the day, depending on what time they get into the city and whatnot. So, you know, stand out there, bring a lawn chair, bring some snacks, bring the stuff you want to get signed. But one thing I will say is, don't get so many things signed, because wrestlers are going to be hesitant to that because they want to sign for you to enjoy. Like, you know, all my stuff, I've never sold one piece of my autographs. I have everything I've ever gotten signed here in this room. But some people get extra things signed to resell on the internet, and wrestlers do not like that. Like, I know for sure Paige hates that. So there's that. And then of course, if you're out there, like I said, if you're wanting to meet a certain wrestler, like one of my friends, Travis, a few years back, he wanted to meet the New Day, and he had a sign. I don't remember what his sign said, but it was revolving around the New Day. He was just head to toe with the stuff, and the New Day not only, I think, tweeted him or retweeted his stuff on Twitter, but went up to him and took pictures with him and stuff. And so that's why I say signs can play a major key. I know they're kind of annoying to carry around, but like, he got his signed, so clearly it worked for him. And then this next one goes for inside the event and outside. Make sure you have your cameras and your autographs ready. Have the Sharpie lid off the Sharpie. Have your phone already open to the camera, because the wrestlers want to get around to as many people as possible to kind of like, you know, give back to them. And if you take too long, you might miss your chance. So always be ready. The minute that bell rings at the end of the match, have your camera open and your Sharpie off and your book ready to where you want them to sign it. And outside, if you see their car pull up, find them, do whatever you gotta do, and have it ready. Because, you know, not only do they have to, or not, well, not have to, but want to meet the fans, they have to go inside and get ready and stretch out and, you know, just find out what they're doing for the night. And also, this also goes for inside and outside. Be polite. Be polite. I can tell you, a big part of the reason why Becky still talks to me is because the impression I made on the first day I met her at WrestleMania. I told her thank you for what you do, and she was shocked that I actually thanked her. I noticed a lot of wrestlers do not get thanked enough for either signing an autograph or, you know, doing the show they do, and that's why I truly think a big impact I had on Becky was because of my manners, pretty much. And, you know, manners are taught obviously by your parents, you know, so thanks, Mom. Thanks for helping me get Becky to talk to me. But, you know, it doesn't hurt to say thank you or to say please or thank them for wrestling and pretty much putting their body on the line. People get hurt. You know, look at Paige having to retire, Tyson Kidd, Daniel Bryan, Edge. All their careers were ended. And, you know, obviously Daniel Bryan and Edge came back and they were able to heal. But some people like Tyson Kidd are not that lucky. And Tyson Kidd literally came this close to dying. He literally was almost killed in the ring. And so that is why I always say thank you to them for everything that they do. Because, you know, I feel like they deserve it. And then another way you can meet wrestlers is at signings. Obviously, that's a pretty obvious one. There are different signings. There are free signings, and then there are ones that you have to pay for. WWE puts on a lot of free signings. If you guys go to the WWE website, or you can go to wrestlingfigs.com, or you can go to Instagram, WWE appearances. They do post all the free signings that they do, but they also do conventions. So, you know, if you want to pay, you can go to the conventions. I think they're worth it. The last convention I went to, I met Becky, Daniel, and Finn. I'm going to be going to meet Mick Foley at an El Paso convention, and then I might be driving to Tucson to go meet Mark Henry. But before any event, whether it's a wrestling event or a signing, please listen to these tips specifically, please. Like, along with the, obviously, the be polite and whatnot, you know, always be hygienic. Because, you know, the wrestlers meet a lot of people. They don't want to, you know, hug someone who maybe didn't put deodorant on that morning or shower. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm looking out for the wrestlers, basically. So try to be hygienic. Make sure you put on some deodorant, some spray, you know, to take a shower, you know, wash your hair, and all that stuff. Next, dress appropriately. Do not, just dress appropriately. I don't think I really have to say much more than that. Wear their shirt. You know, when I meet Becky, I go, obviously, always wear her shirt. You know, have money. That's the extra thing. Because, you know, free events, you really don't have to buy anything. But when you go to the conventions, like I said, it's not free. You need to have money to meet them. And also, maybe sometimes they sell their shirts. So if you're going and you only bought a ticket and you didn't bring any extra money, but you saw that Becky or Finn has their new shirt and you want to buy it, you're not going to be able to because you didn't bring extra money. And then, obviously, do not forget your tickets. If you're going to a convention, don't forget your tickets or you're not going to get in. And then also have your phone fully charged because, number one, you're going to need it for a photo unless you have a pro photo ticket. Number two, you're going to probably want to take some videos, post on Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. Number three, you're going to need something to do while you're sitting there waiting to meet them. And then some more advice for appearances, like especially free appearances, is you need to arrive early. Not so much for the convention. If you have a guaranteed ticket, you don't really need to get there that early. I usually get there about an hour early if I have a paid ticket guaranteeing to meet them. But if it's like a cricket store meet and greet, I usually get there probably 6 to 7 hours early. Unless I have a subscriber who is nice enough to let me get in line with them, which I have had a few, like one of my subscribers, Gabriel, he let me get in line with him one time. And I appreciate that, obviously. And then I always recommend wearing the person's shirt. I always do. Sometimes I'll even buy a shirt if I don't have their shirt. You can bring a gift that you made them or bought them. You know, I have made Becky some stuff in the past. And I do plan on giving her a gift of Mexican candies that we specifically only have here in El Paso next time I meet her, because I noticed she likes to get like treats from all around different cultures and stuff. And then you don't need to bring a Sharpie. unless you want your thing signed in a certain color, then I would recommend bringing a Sharpie, but most of the time they have a black and silver Sharpie, and maybe sometimes even a gold Sharpie. But if you want something like, say you're getting a Bret Hart figure signed and you want it in pink, well, you gotta bring your own Sharpie. Next, when it's actually your turn to get up there and finally talk to them, always be polite, always say please. You know, start off by shaking their hand, unless they're like AJ Lee, who does not like contact. Obviously respect that, do not be a creep and touch them or hug them when they do not want to be touched. But if they're okay with it, you know, shake their hand. Every time I see Becky, she always gives me a hug. Like, be polite, and you know, because they're people too. And you know, if you're gonna ask them to customize it, or even when you hand them your item, you need to say, can you please sign this, or could you please customize it saying this, whatever. Manners are key, and obviously if you're polite, the wrestlers, you know, won't mind, you know, with Becky putting the man or first on my belt for SmackDown Women's Champion or whatnot. And then obviously always say thank you for the item that they are signing. I always thank them for coming out and signing, and you know, coming and doing it for the fans, and I always think it's important. And then also be ready with what you want to tell them, and do not hesitate. When you walk up there and you're like hesitating, and I understand some people have social anxiety, you know, that's okay, but that's why you need to think about it. And even if you just say, Becky, I love you, or Roman, you're my favorite, that's good, but do not get up there and just be a jerk or anything like that. And you know, the reason I say be ready with what you're gonna say is because you have only a certain amount of time, and if you go up there and you're stuttering and you freak out, which is okay because people have social anxiety, a lot of my friends have social anxiety, but you have one chance to talk to them, one chance, so make the most of it. And that's why I'm saying that. And so the last little segment I'm going to do on here is tips from my fellow friends and YouTubers. So first one comes from X3. Treat them as a friend and it'll calm your nerves a bit. Exactly. Go up to them and just act like you've known them for your whole life, because you probably have, watching them on TV. Brandon does everything. A tip I would give is talk to them like a normal human being, and if you want to ask them a question, ask something original, because they've heard almost all the wrestling questions you can ask. Exactly. Don't go up and be like, what's your favorite match you've ever had? They've answered that question probably more times than you can even count. Next, from Instagram influencer Kimber Last Kick, go to the venue or meet and greets. Don't be waiting for them at the airport or hotels. Let them have peace during their crazy traveling, and always be nice and respectful. That is one that I cannot emphasize enough. Do not stalk them at their airport or at their hotels. Let them be a human. Like, example, I saw Baron Corbin and his girlfriend on Bourbon Street during WrestleMania weekend. I did not go up to him because he was with his girlfriend and his friends. And, you know, they deserve that time to just be a freaking person. Next is from one of my friends, Austin Lehman. And this only applies if you randomly run into them. Randomly. Like, after the show, you went to go eat at freaking Whataburger and they happen to be there. Just go up and make a conversation first. Then when it looks like the wrestler is comfortable, ask for a quick picture, but never go up when she is or he is having a conversation, because that is a definite no and you will be turned down immediately. That is 100% true. And the last is from Kip Clips. I'd say by holding your phone out as if waiting for a selfie. Of course it worked for that guy during Bray's entrance at TLC. I don't know if you guys saw that, but go look it up. And what he means by that is if you're at a show, you know, like I said, be ready, have your phone out on selfie mode, and, you know, get your photo. And gotta be quick about it, like I said, because you have one chance to get it done. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this video will help you guys in the future, and I will see you guys on Wednesday for my unboxing video.
Are you a supporter of the Marine Corps?
Absolutely.
Great, because a former decorated member of the United States Marine Corps needs your support.